Hello and welcome to another episode of Tribunal of the Grid, where we talk about, where we can actually talk about all things Power Rangers and the actors that play them. Okay, all right. Woo, that feels so good to say. My name is Brandon.
My name is Lena.
And I'm Will.
We are back officially, tentatively, I should say. Because
I mean, it's so crazy. Like, we have one more month till the end of the year, so I don't know how back we are this year, but
right,
we'll be
exactly.
back. I guess this episode, then we might be gone because of the holidays.
Right.
We will see. We're not making
We'll
promises, guys. I'm sorry.
Listen, the strike really screwed us, and like that's why we just have not been consistent. And also life be lifing, and
Oh my God,
shit,
life be lifing.
So it's just like, sorry guys, but we needed to come back because we're just like, hey, we know that y'all be missing us. And listen, even the page be kind of dry because all I've been doing is posting like birthdays and stuff, like I ain't even been keeping up with the information, child. I'm just like, oh, mainly because of the strike. But ever since the strike been lifted, I'm just like, ooh, I done got used to not covering stuff. So I'm just like, I got a little lazy. But yeah, we're trying to get back in the swing of things and, keep giving y'all the content that y'all deserve because, we love y'all and that's just what we do. So, just a reminder for if this is your first time ever listening to the podcast, or if you're still listening, but you want to invite somebody else into the world of Tribunal of the Grid, always give them the link tr.ee/Tribunal of the Grid has all of our links there, our personal links, our podcast links with our SoundCloud, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Jack Grinders, all that good stuff. It's all there. It's all there, so yeah, you can just go ahead, look us up, listen, and enjoy. Now, tonight or today, whenever you're listening, it's going to be a pretty in-depth episode because we're going to be talking about a lot of things. Well, technically, it's not a lot of stuff, but in actuality, because we like to talk, it is going to be a lot. So, we're going to be talking about Amy Jo's return, the Kickstarter for that. We're going to be talking about SAG-AFTRA strike, or essentially being ended, but who knows? Is it ended? Has it ended? Or, is it actually officially ended? I don't know, because there's still a lot that's going on and there's still a lot that needs to be addressed. And also, we're going to be talking about finally Cosmic Fury. But we're not going to get into the episodes. But we're just going to talk about some things about Cosmic Fury. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So, Amy Jo, right? So Amy Jo, as y'all already know, she's already been talking about, her comic and everything. For anybody that's living under a rock, this comic that she's been talking about is basically the whole idea of this comic is in an alternate universe, the Power Rangers defeat Rita Repulsa and Lord Zed, but at a terrible cost. And in the wake of that tragedy, the team went their own separate ways. 20 years later, the long disbanded team reunites to mourn the loss of their beloved friends. But Zach and Billy have some unexpected information to share. Jason, the Red Ranger, who has long been operating as a lone vigilante, has disappeared. Will the remaining Rangers be able to track him down, especially with a mysterious figure in pursuit? So, Power Rangers The Return, issue 1, will hit the shelves February 7th, 2024. Now, with that being said, Boom has organized basically a campaign, a fundraising campaign, that has stretch goals and all that good stuff. and it's running all month long. But Will, what happened with this Kickstarter campaign? Enlighten
Yeah,
the people.
they made their goal within 45 minutes. So they had
45 minutes.
Yeah, the goal was it was a 50,000, and they are currently sitting at 418,000 plus,
Ah,
and there's
you know what I would do?
15 days to go.
You know what I would do with that much money? Rent would be paid. When I say paid, rent would be paid forever. Like, that's crazy. That's insane. But yeah, so, thoughts. Like, what do y'all think? Like, like, first of all, what do you think about this story? Like, what do you think? Like, about the overall thing?
I think that well, first off, it's going to be set in an alternate reality. Because in this story, Kim and Tommy, it looks like they had a kid. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's something that we didn't talk about.
But
Yeah,
the
there's
thing
a kid.
is, but she has her last name, not his last name.
Right. And that's what I was going to get to next because let's be very clear. She not only has her last name Hart, but she has JDL's, aka Tommy's first name as, in a female form though, but Olivia. So it's
Yeah.
Olivia Hart.
Yep.
And she is wearing an AKA's jacket. Now, for the people in the back that don't know what an AKA is, look up Black Greek organizations. But anyway, so
Oh
now,
God.
now I just find this very interesting because in this alternate dimension, here's this girl, right? This girl who honestly looks like Jenna, but I ain't want to say nothing because I don't want to start nothing. But she kind of looks like Jenna.
She
Number
does.
one.
She does.
Number one, and number two, I just want to let y'all know I'm not here for it.
You know what? I don't know how I feel about it. I remember I wasn't too thrilled when I heard she's writing her own comic series with her boyfriend, and I'm like, the thing is, it might not be Jenna. It might just have happened to they were trying to get use certain colors, and it just so happened to end up looking like Jenna. But I don't think that was her inspiration, if I'm being honest. However, I now that I see it, okay. So at first I wasn't thrilled about it. I'm like, why are we getting another goddamn comic series? That doesn't really make any sense to the rest of the franchise, and now this is written by a Power Ranger. Like, why? But now that I see it, I'm low-key kind of excited for it. I'm interested to see where this goes, and I'm interested in how far this can go for the franchise. The original, the token child, the token actress, the Pink Ranger, writing on Mighty Morphin, the season that no one wants to let go. I feel like it is the cherry on top, the pie on top, like the freaking the golden ticket and the Charlie and the Wonka factor. I don't know what the freaking movie is called, but you know what I mean? Like, this is like the thing that everyone's been waiting for. This is it. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, wow, we can milk this some more. Let's turn this into a series. Let's turn this into like a live action. Let's turn this into whatever. I could see them really continue to milk it, especially if it's any good.
And let me be clear. I know I said I don't want this to be a piece where somebody snips this and be like, see, doesn't like Jenna. No. It's
No,
not that.
everyone's gonna be
Because
snipping.
I know people.
Right, and
People will
now
try
they
to
said it.
screw me
Someone's gonna go out there and they're gonna snip you just to do that. Just
just
to
to do that.
just to
And
do that.
it's like, no, I didn't say that. What I'm saying is, I don't care for the story in general. Like, that's just my opinion. This is not the reflective opinion of Tribune on the Grid. This is my personal opinion. I don't care for it, and I will tell you in a bit. Go ahead, Will, because I know you're about to say something next.
No, I was just gonna say that I'm excited. It I feel like if anyone could tell a good story, a good Power Ranger story, it
Would
wouldn't be somebody that actually
be
was a
right.
Power Ranger.
Exactly.
See, who knows these characters better than somebody that spent, 3 years doing the show?
Right.
So I
Basically the rest of her life being that character, essentially. You know,
So
like what
I'm
yeah, I'm
yeah.
excited. I'm so with you.
Mhm. And like this past year, we got us a couple of things for Power Rangers that we got to celebrate. With Once and Always, we got Cosmic Fury, and we got a taste of this comic in the annual. But to see what it is fully fleshed out is going to be really cool. Just another celebration of the series. And what better way than in comic book form, because that's been one of the best things that we've had over the last decade. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to give us.
Okay, y'all ready? I just genuinely don't care. I honestly, I'm so fatigued. I'm so fatigued. Anything that is just Mighty Morphin at this point, I just don't care. That is one of the reasons why I have been dragging my feet with trying to promote and trying to put the update on the actual page. I have been dragging my ass because I'm just like, I don't care. I don't. I genuinely don't. And it is nothing against Amy Jo, nothing against the writers, nothing against the artists, anybody. But I just don't care anymore. Like I'm just like anything dealing with MMPR, leave me alone. Like I'm just over it. And that's why like when I heard the whole thing of like there's this rumor that came out, I think like a couple months ago, where it was like Jonathan Entwistle's new thing isn't going to have anything to do with MMPR. I was like, I pray to God that that's true because I just genuinely hope it has nothing to do with MMPR. Like I can deal with a little reference here and there, whatever, but it being staunch, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Jason Zach, Trini, Kimberly, Billy, like I can't. Like I have been like I'm at my wits end at this point. And then also too, this story is based on, of course, these original characters, and it's in an alternate reality where fans can finally get what they wanted. Tommy and Kimberly were together. They got married and they got together and they had a kid named that shared both their names, Olivia Hart. Like it's just like, oh, like, it just drains me. I'm like, like I don't know. Like it just really gets me. It really gets me, and I'm just over it. Like I said, it's nothing against Amy Jo Johnson. It's really not. Like it has nothing to do with her. But it's just like I'm just personally just over it at this point. Um, and then like also too like um this whole thing with like I'm actually very excited for a few things about this project though. I am kind of excited for the the fact that she's working so hard on it and she really believes in these characters. I've never seen Amy Jo this excited about Power Rangers like in a very long time. Like even when she's at cons, like she like, oh yeah, like this happened, blah 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 blah. But she's like excited, so that lets me know she really believes in this project. So
I mean, she better. She's been working on it for so many years.
right, and I mean, she wouldn't shut up about it even when she was supposed to. So, so I know she's excited about it, and so I don't want to put any damper on that or anything like that. It's just my own personal fatigue of it. It's just like I'm just tired, and it's just that. That's literally what it is, and that's why I'm just not excited for this project. Like I will still read it, I will still support it because I'm a Power Rangers fan, so I'm going to. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm I'm over it. But at least fans will finally get what they wanted, which is at least it was not in the actual canon of the show, so it's technically not really. I guess it doesn't really matter because it's like a different universe, so it really doesn't matter. But at least they get something, In another world, this does happen. You do actually get what you want, fans. Just not in the world that matters. But in another world, you do get a situation where Kimberly and Tommy do get together, and maybe fans can now rest easy knowing that in another dimension they do get together.
But I do wonder, was it before or after the Dear Johns?
Well, no, it had to be before because in the synopsis it does say that they did defeat Rita and Lord Zed. So it was definitely before the Dear John, for sure.
Oh, right. Wait, when did so that they did defeat it in the series? They didn't?
No. They didn't. No, because remember, like Kimberly left. Like Kimberly went ahead, joined the Pan Globals, and she dipped. But they were still fighting Lord Zed and Rita.
Right.
That's when Kat came in.
Oh, got it. And that's when Kat was like, "Wow, you left your man. I'm here to take the leftovers."
Which can we talk about this? Because I'm sorry, even Catherine Sutherland was like, she felt like that relationship was so forced, and I'm like, girl, it was definitely forced.
It was
and
so forced.
It was so forced, and I'm just like, now I'm not gonna hold you. It was giving real how the UPN used to have those shows back in the day, those look like teen adult shows or whatever, kind of like the CW. It was giving real that back in the day, okay? It was giving real CW soap opera because first of all, Kat was like, girl, I'm gonna take your man, and not only am I gonna take your man, I'm gonna kill you. You know what I'm saying? So like, and I'm gonna take you out of the picture. You feel me? So like,
he went psycho on this girl.
He went straight psycho, and she was the blonde bombshell at that. Like Catherine Sutherland played the hell out of that. Like she was like, "Oh yes, I am going to kill." Like first of all, for years, and I always have to hug Catherine Sutherland every time I see her because I'm always like, "Girl, you have no idea how much I wanted your head when I was a kid." Because I'm like, "Girl, you almost killed Kimberly." Like I don't like you. Okay, it took me a minute. Exactly how I felt. It took me a minute, baby. It took me a minute to adjust to Catherine because I was like, girl, I don't like you.
Everyone, myself. Imagine me, the Kim lover here. You're trying to tell me that you killed her, and now you're just gonna magically join her team, become best friends with her best friend, and then snatch her boyfriend? Like, who are you?
Like, are we watching the same thing? Like, what? Like, how are y'all just immediately just like all hunky dory? Like, yeah, let's be friends now. You almost killed my girl. Like, oh my god, like y'all are really bugging right now. Like, but like,
let me date you after you almost killed my ex-girlfriend.
Like, right? No, like, who does that? But they're like, just like, yeah. You were under a spell, so it's okay, girl. No, it's not.
No, it's not okay.
It's not okay.
It's not okay. You knew what you were doing.
I mean,
Oh.
Kimberly dated the guy that almost killed her and her best friends. So,
True.
And I mean, she
But
was
he
definitely
was
pining
under a
for him
spell.
because that was the excuse. I guess that's the excuse in this world. As long as they're under spells, it's all good. You can almost kill me. You can almost throw me off a cliff. You can almost run me off the side of a mountain in a car. You can blow my ass up. As long as I survive and you're under a spell, it's okay. I forgive you.
I mean, like, look at Ollie and Amelia. Like he went like he straight up almost like cut her head off. Like he like the things he
sliced her
did,
face.
but
Sliced
like
her face.
slice her face. I'm telling you, like I'm just
Like,
saying.
these mugs are they're too forgiving in this universe. I wish people were like that in the real world because like
Because
y'all too forgiving. I'm
and
just like
remember, he was under a
as
spell.
long as you
okay.
under a spell, you all right. You all right in my book. I'm just like this is crazy. Like
You
no,
know?
that's it.
Like not him out here literally trying to take over Earth, where his entire life is from. But no, he's under a spell. It's fine.
Right. He's under a spell. It's totally fine. I'm like fuck, but we're not going to really talk about the actual real couple. That when Kat and Tommy finally did get together, they just completely threw away the real couple of the show, Tanya and Adam. But we ain't gonna get into that because I'm gonna tell you right now, since day one, you can't tell me that Adam was not looking at Tanya.
You know why they were looking at you? Because they were not under a spell.
They were not under a spell. They were not, because I'm gonna tell you right now, when that Zeo Crystal did the twerk backwards and turned them back into teenagers, baby, and Tanya got up and she said her little line talking about after everything that's happened today. I know it's gonna take me a while to get the hang of things. Adam was like, "Don't worry, we'll help you every step of the way." Nobody ain't said shit to her. Pat just asked her, "Girl, are you okay?" Adam was the only person to respond. Rocky was too busy hitting his head on the side of consoles and shit, giving himself a concussion. Tommy ain't even said nothing to her, but Adam was the one who answered her. It's like, oh, Adam had the Joneses for Tanya since day one. And I'm just like, now see, these actors and the writers was writing this. The actors was giving y'all the energy. All y'all had to do was follow it up. Y'all could have made them the couple, and I would have believed it. Because they had such great chemistry. And it's like, y'all gave the two people who didn't have no chemistry at all the couple.
Well, remember, she was under a spell. Like, and like, you're missing the ingredient here.
Well, I guess.
Like, think about it. Tommy and Kimberly, he was under a spell. You know, Catherine and Tommy, she was under a spell.
Damn, I guess Adam should have like became evil and started fucking people up. So Tanya can be like, all right, so come back to the good side, and then
because when Adam was under a spell, what was it? Her name Sabrina. She was looking at him. Was that her name? I don't know.
Technically, he wasn't under a spell. He just wanted the bone, so that's why he almost got fucked up because he was sitting there looking at Sabrina like, yeah, I want to get you, not knowing that she was Scorpina. So he was just under a spell of the female gaze. That's what that was about. Like he wasn't thinking with his head. He was thinking with something down there. Shit. Adam was like, hey, Sabrina fine as fuck. Let me get that. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, life is short. You don't know when you're under.
Okay, you never know. Life is short, baby. You never know. I'm like, wow. So yeah, like, I don't know. Like, that's just really how I feel about this whole, like, honest to God, that really is how I feel about.
And you know what? That is perfectly fine. What I'm not feeling though is those prices for the Kickstarter. Yeah, those prices. Those are some. I'm not gonna lie. I was low key kind of interested because again, like my favorite Pink Ranger is releasing a whole comic series, and I'm not gonna lie, the artwork's pretty banging, and like I was kind
Oh,
of
it's beautiful.
and then I looked at the price and I went, not that beautiful. Not today. No, sorry.
Well, the entire graphic novel is $25 for the soft cover. The hard covers, $10 more, $35, and then it goes
Also,
up from
so
there.
unfortunately for me, I'm a Canadian, and those pricings are converted, and they're a lot more money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's not the 25. That sounds sweet. That sounds beautiful. That's affordable. That is the price point I'm looking at. But what I was seeing was almost double the price.
Oh
Damn.
shit!
Yeah. So I was like,
Oh,
Amy,
wow.
I mean, you're Canadian now, eh? Hey, how about
That's what I was just thinking.
Hey, Amy?
Now, low key but high key, what you need to do is you need to get one of us to go ahead and get you this. See if one of us can get it for you, and then be like, "Oh, hey, girl, we go ahead and send it to you."
Right. No, seriously, like it's pretty expensive. And I was like, yo, like, because it would, no, and of course, with shipping. And I find out when it comes to US shipping these days, they're charging like 40, $50 just for shipping.
Yeah.
Pretty nasty. No, I'm really excited overall, though. I'm excited to see where the story goes, and I'm excited to see what will come out of it, if like, and how far it can go with this series, like because who knows, like I can see all the potential and opportunities that could come from this. So I'm really happy for Amy Jove to finally accepting who she is, like, literally, because for the longest time she has
Mhm.
run away from the fact that she is the Pink Ranger, and
Mhm.
she hasn't really accepted it. And we all knew she'd disappear for a little while. I mean, that's also due to people being stupid and stalkerish for no reason. But other than that, like, I've never even at conventions, like Brandon said, like, I've never seen her as happy. Like, so I'm really glad that she's finally like, hey, listen, like, I'm owning it. Like, this is who I am.
Yeah, she can't escape it.
Exactly. Well, that's just it. Like, you can't escape it. Like, you think, like, it's just, I feel like once you create an iconic role, that's it. Like, that's who you are for the rest of your life. Like, you think Sarah Michelle Gellar hates being called Buffy? I'm sure she loves it. She's Buffy.
At this point, yeah.
I don't care
It
what
took
anyone
some
says.
time for her too, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, right? Like, but the thing is with her though, she didn't really do much outside of Buffy after. And that's what, I don't know if she got typecast or
That's a
whatever.
travesty.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I think
mean, I wouldn't say she didn't
so.
do much. I wouldn't say that because like, but I will say like there was a string of almost kind of like because she was a hero. I don't know where the Hollywood was like, okay, so because you played a hero for like 6 years, we're just gonna try to like get you killed every moment. Like we're gonna try to kill you every chance we can get. And because like she was killed in freaking Scream 2, she was killed in I Know What You Did Last Summer.
yeah.
The
Like
Grudge.
Wait, was that
The
Well,
after?
that's
Grudge,
too.
Oh, I didn't
like
realize those were after Those were after Buffy.
Those were
yeah.
during Buffy.
That's
Oh,
okay.
those
That's
were
what I
during
thought.
Buffy.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
I thought
she
they were
was
during Buffy.
that woman was working. She
Well, that
she
makes
did.
sense if it's during Buffy
Mhm.
because she needs to be killed.
It's just like every time you turn around, it was just like she was getting her ass killed. So I'm just like, oh child, like this is too much.
Yeah, no, yeah, because like I was thinking, I'm like, I thought that was during Buffy, but I'm talking like actually after Buffy. Like, I know
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
she did like a couple series, but they didn't really take off. Where it
And
was
Right,
those
right,
were
right.
years later.
exactly, yeah, she did
She
like
did
Right.
she
Slayer.
did big films. She did big films after that, but like they didn't really do
They
well.
didn't do
So
well,
it
exactly.
So you don't
yeah, it
think
was
Scooby Doo did well?
No,
well, those did well. Those also were during Buffy too.
They were?
At
yeah,
least the first one was.
I
yeah,
thought for sure Scooby Doo was after Buffy.
And I
no,
think the second one was it came out in 2004, so she probably did it right after Buffy ended.
Yeah, like
But
Oh,
there were still some things that happened at like what was that movie? The Rock was in it. It was called Southland Tales. I remember when that was in development, I was thinking that that was going to be like a really big deal, and then it like flopped.
yeah.
oh,
Well, like that's what I mean. Like Sarah worked. She worked. Um, I'm talking like literally like after Buffy. Like I I know she did The Ringer, and I really like that series
I
for a
just
while.
rewatched that.
And it
That
got
show is
canceled.
crazy.
I
Oh my
know.
God, did you know that? Did you know that she actually could have done a season two, but
Yes.
she got pregnant and then she ended. Like I just found that out.
Yes. Yeah. That's why season two never came because of that. And then like
She
and then
did the show with Robin Williams.
yeah, she did that. Like, yeah, so she did a few things that didn't really, I felt like it didn't hit. It didn't slap as much, like people forgot
Yeah.
that she even did that. Like, whenever I talk about the ringer, people are like, what the fuck is the ringer? I'm like, Sarah Michelle Gellar was in it. Like, the girl
Mhm.
that did Buffy, like, she was in it. They're like, no, what is it about? So there were a few things she did like after Buffy, and it never really stuck. Of course, there was various reasons. Obviously, the ringer, she got pregnant. Like, um, and even like yeah, just like a few things that she's done long after, like had never really stuck, and it's just kind of a shame because I don't know if she
She's
was type.
talented.
She's very talented, so I don't. We'll see. Her being typecast doesn't even make sense as if she did all that other stuff. Like during Buffy, like what was the issue with Hollywood?
Hollywood just sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. So I but overall, like I don't know where I was going with this. We went off on a little tangent there.
Oh, you were talking about like
Right. Right.
somebody being known for a role and then maybe for a little while they want to shy away from it, but then
Yeah.
eventually they just realize like
Yeah.
this, I'm proud of this.
Yeah. So we're so glad that she's finally coming around to this. And so like yeah, like so many opportunities can come so from this. I'm so excited. I truly am excited for her, and I'm excited that this has come to fruition for her as well too. Because I remember she talked about
Hmm.
being talks with Boom Studios in hopes to get this project off the ground, and I'm
Hmm.
glad
Hmm.
that they did, and they're like, yeah, we like it, let's do this.
Yeah, and with it being so successful, there's already like this has already made money. I
Mhm.
wonder if if Hasbro sees this, because this is another example that there's interest in Power Rangers. Because we talked about it earlier this year. The Once and Always special did well, and that week they had that event. Was it at the Grove? It was somewhere in LA, and there were a
yeah, the
lot
Grove.
of
Mhm.
fans. Okay, yeah, there were a lot of fans out there, excited to see the actors and excited about the special. So like, there's definitely interest out there for Power Rangers.
Mhm. Oh, absolutely. So I'm very excited. I'm so excited.
Yeah. And that's the part that just kind of like makes me feel like, at the end of the day, like there's always going to be interest. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always going to be some sort of interest, some sort of like, yeah, I really want to see this show succeed. But my only issue is that, it just kind of like I'm still living in the idea of I just want to see the show progress outside of MMPR. I know that's a stretch because like that's just kind of where we are, and that's just unfortunately like the way the cookie crumbles because the show just got stuck in MMPR and could never progress further. But in my own like wish of like what I wish could happen, I just wish that Power Rangers could go a little bit further and, just
Hmm.
come up with something that is equally just as good, but off of its own merit that can literally segue into something much bigger and can carry into a newer generation that can actually sustain the show's progress instead of keep it stagnant. And that's what MMPR is doing. And unfortunately, of course, you're dealing with corporations and people who are always looking at the money side of things. So obviously, as long as it keeps bringing some kind of revenue and it keeps, like fund giving them that kind of bread where it's like, okay, we can sustain this. People will sit there and be like, hey, like, we're just going to keep giving you MMPR. But, just like with Cosmic Fury actually did 10 times better than what they thought it was going to do. Because wasn't Cosmic Fury like number 6? It made number 6 on Netflix as in the top 10. So like,
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I want to say Cosmic Fury was number 6 worldwide for well, at least for the US. I'm sure for the US. It debuted at number 6. Or either I think it debuted at number 3 and then it ended at number 6. I can't remember. But basically what I'm saying is it debuted in the top 10. So that means something. It's like, yes, Power Rangers is something that people do want to see. But we have to find a way to garner that interest from not only the adult fans, but also new fans alike that can actually sit there and be like, yeah, I want to join in and I want to get pumped about this show just as much as anybody else. But you just can't keep pushing and pimping out that will of MMPR. Like, it's a well that is drying out. And it's like, how many more new things y'all gonna try to do with this? And like I said, that's the reason why I'm so fatigued with the return. Because I'm like, it's a great idea. Or what and stuff like I'm excited for it. I'm excited for Amy because she's, like she said, she wanted to celebrate the 30th anniversary in her own way. But also it's just like, damn, MMPR again. You feel me? So that's just kind of my own personal sentiment on it. That's why I was like, I just want to make that very clear. This is not the opinion of Tribunal. This is the opinion of one person, i.e. Brandon Demone, me. Like, it's me. It is my opinion. But at the end of the day, that's just kind of where I am with the situation. But we're going to move right along to good old SAG-AFTRA. Now, unfortunately, let me not say unfortunately. Fortunately, right? Because there is the fortunately to this. It's over. The strike is over. The strike is over. People have now returned to work. Projects have began again. There are shows that are now being like, hey, we're back on track again. We are going to go ahead and start our season 2 or our season 3 or whatever. So people are now going back to work. However, unfortunately, SAG has been, the agreement is not agreeing the way it's supposed to agree. So there has been, I was reading the SAG-AFTRA agreement. You can find that at sagaftra.com. It's a summary of the tentative agreement. And I was reading specifically the part about artificial intelligence. And one of the things that really stuck out to me about this, and this is also one of the things that people are begging during this vote, because there's a vote that is being cast amongst all of the union actors, basically being like, vote yes or no on this agreement. And they haven't fully ratified the agreement as of yet. As of the time of this recording, they haven't fully ratified it as of yet. The tentative agreement, as of right now, basically in a nutshell states that, for one, the main thing that sticks out to me is that basically saying, if you've already signed an agreement, basically saying you consent to AI, like basically using your likeness, your voice, your image, whatever. You've already signed that consent, unless under a specific limitation, they can still use your likeness even after your death. That is wild to me. That is wild. They can still use your voice, they can still use your likeness even after death.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That is crazy to me. Like what? Like they were gonna try their best to try to put AI into this, which I'm just like, okay, I understand, I get it. Like y'all really want to use AI. The actors are just out here like we just want to work. Like chill out with the AI shit. But they out here on some like, well, we gonna put it in whether you like it or not. So what y'all gonna do? And this is the tentative agreement. I mean, there is more about AI in here, especially dealing with background actors. And what I have basically been hearing dealing with other actors and their whole disagreements with this tentative agreement is that basically what this does is still technically not a win for actors. This still does not protect actors because what this actually does is, say, for example, you are being asked to work on a project or you are trying to be hired to work on a project. If you do not consent to the usage of AI being used on you at any point in time for this project, then they can actively say, we don't want to work with you and move on to somebody else who will want to work with you, who will want to do it. And that is unfair because that basically puts people in a position where basically if they're completely against using AI, then their careers are fucked. They just can't get work. Because people are going to keep overlooking them, being like, well, if you don't want to sign away your likeness, then I don't want to work with you. And nobody, and that's the whole point of this. One of the main points of this strike. Nobody wants that because it's like if you have consent to use my likeness, you can use it at any point in time, even though they're saying, oh yeah, you'll still be paid for it. They're still trying to find ways, and it's just so unfair. I'm like, oh my goodness, like, oh, like, and I just knew. I was like, well, maybe this is gonna work. This might be it. This might be the ticket. This might be the meal ticket. This might be it. And I'm just like, damn, like here we are again. Like I'm like, yeah, I'm just over it at this point. Like, I'm hoping that personally, I'm hoping that SAG, that mainly the actors and everybody, all the union workers just be like, hey, we don't agree with this shit. Nah. And just like, and they go back to the drawing board and they go back to the table again. Because it's just
Yeah.
we like no, like
fair.
this is not fair. It's not fair. Like the actors are once again not protected. They're not protected.
Yeah, well, thank you for getting those details because I was before we started, I was looking for exactly what you said, but I couldn't find it. So thank you for that. So the positive for now is the compensation for the actors. From a article that I found, it said that the contracts achieve more than $1 billion in new compensation and benefit plan funding, including an additional was it $317.2 million to the benefits plans. The contracts established a lengthy and detailed AI guardrails that didn't exist before and do protect you as we meet the challenge of this new technology, hair and makeup equity, significantly increased background coverage, outside streaming residuals, that's something, a new streaming success fund, and so much more. These gains are only possible because of your sacrifice, solidarity, and tenacity over the 118 days of the strike, and are assured if you vote to ratify the agreement. So they money, and they're trying to figure something out with streaming. I think they have something pretty decent in in mind for compensation for streaming. But as we said, the AI thing is just that's it's like it like kind of cripples the whole agreement. Like you would be able to get more money, but just as far as something like you said, like overtime, if they have AI, you won't even have to worry about that if if shooting goes over. Um it I oh God, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating because, you know, it seems like the art from the artist, the living artist who put so much into these roles and into bringing, the writing and the direction to life, it's not appreciated. And I just, to think that your likeness could be used in something that you're totally against, or something that is just awful, because um, there are films that are greenlit that are just absolutely horrible, or it just doesn't align with what you believe in. Your likeness and your reputation could be linked to that after death, and like
Right.
your family doesn't even have any say in it. Your
Right.
estate has no say in it. Like that's crazy. I damn. So like if they, I'm all here for the actors. I'm just wondering, like, what would that look like if they say, you know what, thank you, but no thank you. We need to get this AI shit. We need to figure something out with it. Like, what does that look like going forward? Like another lengthy amount of time of a strike, and then I would think that instantly whatever has gone back into production or gone into production will now stop. So it's like, damn.
That's the thing. It's just like it just makes me so sad. This whole thing. Yes, like the the things that they did agree on, because like I said, I was looking over as much of the contract as I could and was trying to basically gain an understanding of what it was. Like you said, there's a lot of great things that they're doing in terms of like residuals and health
Mhm.
and pension and
Mhm.
great pay increases and things of that nature. So those things are fantastic. Like, they're really trying to get all those things back. But, you know, being able to use someone's likeness even after death, you know what I'm saying? That to me is just like that's insane. Like, like how can you even do that? Like that's just crazy, and then being able to actively say, hey, if you don't want to do this, we can go to somebody else. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Like,
It's
wow.
really it's really lacking humanity, you
It
know.
really is. It really is. It's lacking humanity. It's lacking just like it's just being it's careless. It's careless. It's reckless. It's just it's just really sad. And I'm just at the point now where I'm like, I really, really, really hope that they vote no. And they're just like, you know what? Nah, we're not doing this. And if it just so happens that they shut down again, then they shut down again.
And
But get it right.
you know what's really sucked too is that with all of this, it's almost a like a slap to the face. It's like, okay, we'll give you what you want,
Yeah.
That's exactly what it
you
is.
know,
That's
like,
exactly what it is.
and it's it just makes me so upset. That's like you're telling me that I can get my job back as long as I'm okay with AI. So, no more overtime. And like if I spend 2 hours in makeup and hair and I have 6 more hours to film, you're just not gonna film without me if I'm gone past my 6 hours. It's like what the fuck?
Yeah, because they already done got you. So it's like, oh well, we don't need to bring
Right?
you back. We'll just pay you that base rate for the day or
Right.
whatever. But if in that position where you were filming and you did go into overtime, you wouldn't see that money. You
No.
just got that base pay for the day, from what
Yeah.
I'm understanding. And it's like
Exactly.
that sucks.
Either that or they just gonna use AI to finish your scene.
Yeah, yeah,
And
and
it's
they
so
just pay
stupid
you
because it's
whatever that
like,
is.
yeah, it's like, well, that's not my fault. Like, how is that like, the actor's fault if cast and crew is not all together either, or we're not getting the right scene and we're not being set up. Like and even voiceover, I heard like those get AI to do it. Like everything's just AI.
Yeah,
And as
they're
much as
really trying to sneak it in there.
yeah, as much as like AI, but this is really given now that we can talk about it. This is given that episode from Black Mirror.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so fucked up. They can use your likeness, they can use your voice, they can use literally anything and everything and make you whoever. They can even put
Yep.
your face on a porn site for all we know.
Yeah, they could if they wanted.
Right.
They
Yeah.
could if they wanted,
You know,
like
like they're taking catfish to a whole new level now. I can see
have
it.
you getting
I
busted wide open on somebody's
right,
site, and it's like, wait, what? That's not even me.
right. I can see Neve and Neve and Max from MTV Catfish being like, hold up. We need to refresh our skills. We'll be back in 3 to 4 months. We need to take a course on how to take down AI catfish style.
That's crazy.
Like, that's crazy. Like, when you think about it, it's like, you can't even. Because now I'm wondering, like, if you do image reverse search, are you really going to find them? Or are you just going to find AI? Like, what are we seeing now?
And that's the scary part because people are already used like I've said before in the previous episode, like people are already using AI to like scam already. Like I was on Twitter, I want to say like I saw this like a couple weeks ago on Twitter where
I
someone was
retweeted
like,
it.
oh yeah, where somebody
Is it the Cardi B thing?
yes, yes. And I'm not just like, what the fuck?
What is
Like
it? You
y'all
gotta
are
tell me. What is the Carly B thing?
Wasn't it like a weight loss supplement? And they used AI for Cardi's voice, and they used clips of her talking.
Yeah.
Like it was like they literally used like just random clips of her from different videos talking, but they recorded or they created the dialogue from AI, and it was like her talking about how this supplement helped her lose weight.
Right. Yeah.
Like that's
fucked up.
fucking crazy.
That's
So
Like,
you can't like
people are nuts.
I've already heard somebody used this is from the wrestling world. This girl, she got released because she had a paywall site similar to OnlyFans. And because that doesn't really go along with the values of that company, because it was some explicit stuff on there, they let her go. That somebody took I guess they got her voice from like an interview or from TV or whatever, and they put together this dialogue of her talking about the people in the back that potentially saw what she did and fired her, and she's like cussing them out. and it's not actually her.
What? Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah, like there's so it's so like incriminating the things that um could be done with this. And sometimes like like with Photoshop, you know how good some people are with that to make some of that stuff look real.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's people that are really talented with like audio stuff and video stuff. So like that there are people that are going to be able to make seamless dialogue from AI.
Right.
And like I said, like that could be something that's absolutely like when we talked about this AI shit months ago, I was already talking about like this could interfere in like actual criminal cases.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is really disturbing. Like I don't like it. I do not like it.
At all. At all. Like this shit can get so freaking gross. Like it can become such a nightmare. And they're just like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And it's like, come on, y'all.
And we're talking about normal everyday people that are starting to like perfect it. I just I, I don't know like how
Mm-mm-mm.
we can even like combat it really unless the fact that this is becoming such a like a normal thing
Mm-hmm.
um perhaps I I don't know like they'll they'll come up with like AI task forces or something. I don't know.
I mean, they'd have to at some point because, like,
Yeah.
like you said, you could easily you can frame stuff on people, you can steal money from people. Like, there's just so many things so many vile, evil things you can use AI for. And it's just like, yo, like this technology, especially in the wrong hands, could really screw people's lives up. So this is not a game. Like
Did
this
you?
is
Yeah,
really fucked up.
this is crazy. Did you hear about people who received phone calls from loved ones that say that
Yes.
they're kidnapped, like from their kids? I'm
Mm-hmm.
kidnapped. They're
Yes,
crying, like that really
yes.
sounds like them. And
Yeah,
then
we
their
talked
kid is
about
up
this.
in their room. Oh, we did. I heard
Yeah.
something else, another story like that recently.
Yep.
Yep. Honestly, I believe it. And this is why you gotta come up with like they say safe words, but I feel like you know what? Safe words are not really that safe. You gotta come up with like a phrase or something.
Yeah.
But you can't like say it over the phone or on the internet or anywhere. You gotta like say it to each other in person so that you know. You know.
Yep. So it's like, so there's no confusion that, it's not that person or whatever, because it's crazy. Like they are really out here on some like, yeah, we are trying to get the people. Like we are trying to get people's money. We are trying to do all the things. And it's crazy. Like I don't know. Like I'm just this whole thing is just so fucked up. And they're trying to shoe in this AI stuff. And I'm just like, y'all, there was nothing wrong with how we were doing it before. What it really is let's just go ahead and call a spade a spade. What this really is y'all don't want to pay people. Y'all want to hold on to your millions and your billions, and you don't want these talented people to get their money. You don't want to pay them. Just go ahead and say that this is what it is, because that's exactly what it is. Y'all don't want to pay people. And it's just like at the end of the day, like they deserve to, I've said this before, they deserve their coin. They deserve their just due. And by golly, at the end of the day, like some of y'all got a lot on y'all hands to deal with in terms of karma, because I promise you, karma is that bitch. When she got her eyes set, there's not enough money in the world that can keep you from karma's grip. Once karma steps in, it's like it's mink, 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 mink until until you are ruined. I mean, we see that with certain people in the news right now. Puffy. But anyway, I'm not gonna even get on that. I'm not gonna get on that because he'll try to get me killed. But anyway, so yeah, it's just not. It's still not looking good. It's still not looking good for the actors. But hopefully, with whatever happens, I'm just hoping, even if they do vote yes on this agreement, because I know people want to get back to work. I know people want to work again. People want to, because a lot of actors are not doing well. I don't know if I spoke about this gentleman that comes into my job a lot, but we used to during the strike, when everything was happening, he was marching every single day. He even invited me to a couple marches. But he was out there all the time. And I got scared because I didn't see him anymore. And the last time that I saw him, he was like, yeah, I might end up losing everything. Like, he literally said he might end up losing everything, like his house, like everything. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. And he's Canadian. He's a Canadian. And he was like, he might either go back home. He's not really sure what he's gonna do. And he doesn't have any family like that. So it's like, this man is pretty much like on his own. He's a not older, because I don't want to say he's older, because 60 isn't like old, but he's getting up there. And it's like, this man is pretty much like, you might as well say, approaching homelessness because of this shit. And he's a talented man, and I'm just like, I just hate that this strike had to do so many detrimental things like that it just ruined people's lives. And meanwhile, these people are losing their homes, losing their livelihoods. And you got people like, freaking Bob Iger, who's like, oh, it's so disruptive, as he sits on his billions. Like, sir, fuck you. Like, there are people who literally are losing their losing things, like losing their livelihoods, losing their homes, all this stuff, all because you and other corporate people sitting around your tables while you're catching your private jets and jumping on cruises in private islands that only billionaires can attend, while they're losing everything. But you're sitting comfortable in your well-insulated billion-dollar homes. Fuck off. Like, that is some of the most evilest things we could possibly see in our lives. So I'm just hoping and praying that even if they do decide yes on this, I hope that, it's a situation where the actors aren't getting too fucked over in terms of AI, and they could still, work. It might bite them in the ass, but at least they still might be able to work, at least. It's still not ideal. They're still not 100% protected, but hey, like, it's a work in progress. It's still a fight. So let's just keep fighting. Let's keep the actors in our prayers. let's keep us in our prayers. Let's keep fighting, and let's just hope and pray that things get better. So lastly, before we go ahead and end this episode, I do definitely want to talk a little bit about Cosmic Fury as well. So we're not going to do a Cosmic Fury episode tonight. I know y'all was probably sitting there like, Cosmic Fury. No, we're not. But because none of us prepared. But I definitely did want to talk about the I definitely did want to talk about the watch party and what that could entail. So we're basically going to do it live. We're gonna we're gonna talk about this live, and basically, set it up, and then you all can enjoy the show right along with us. And yeah, yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. Also, too, a couple things before we even get into that, I did want to point out some things. So Simon Bennett did do an interview with Global Nerds, and shout outs to them because they were able to interview Simon Bennett. That is huge. Congratulations. Shouts out to you guys. But there was a lot of bombshells in tea that was dropped during that interview. And one of the things that Simon did say about the show was that the champagne color Russell, aka Zato, was wearing on Cosmic Fury, technically it was supposed to be white. Technically, it was supposed to be white, but Hasbro decided, whomever the person was that was helping them run the show at that time, because apparently they swap out like every other couple episodes, not episodes, every couple seasons, they swap out and they get brand new people that helps them with behind the scenes and stuff like that. That person that was helping them this time around obviously forgot that Zoe Robbins, who played Haley in Ninja Steel, was a Black woman. Didn't realize that, this Black woman played a White Ranger. So basically, they said that Russell, aka Zato, could not be a White Ranger because he's a Black man, and they didn't want it to become an issue that a Black man is playing a White Ranger.
I don't understand how that ever would have, what?
That is the stupidest thing I have ever heard.
I think this is an example of overthinking.
Overthinking.
Like, what the hell? Like, oh my God.
Like, what? Like, I had to laugh.
Yeah, this is before we knew anything about them switching the colors. Like Zato would no longer be the Red Ranger, so they didn't know about the backlash. From it wasn't like from a huge sect of fans, but some fans were really upset at Zato being quote unquote demoted from Red because of the history of Black Red Rangers not really getting the best representation on the show. But this is before they even were aware of that. But like, for them to think that a Black man couldn't be a White Ranger, like, that has nothing to do with race. It's a color. It's a Ranger color. Like,
it's a Ranger color, y'all. Like, and these people who make these decisions, it's like, baby, it didn't take no time to jump on somebody's Google. It didn't take no time to jump on Beyonce, Kelly's, Michelle's Google and be like, hey, has there ever been a Black person that has been a White Ranger? You would have seen, boom, clear as day, Zoe Robbins, who is literally on one of the top rated shows on Amazon Prime right now. Once upon a time, that is not named the show, but a Wheel of Time on Amazon right now. One of the main stars of the show, it was the White Ranger, and she is definitely Black. A Black woman. And you mean to tell me y'all thought that you can't have a Black person be a White Ranger because that might, be seen as, a little too racy, and we don't want to go there. What? How stupid are you? Like, wow, y'all. I just had to get that out there because I just thought that was comical. And I know no shade, and I'm not trying to be funny when I say this. I'm not trying to listen. For the people who listen to this show, y'all know my heart. This is not meant to be mean, but for some of y'all white people, for some of y'all white people, I understand y'all are really trying to be as inclusive as possible. You're trying not to step on any toes. You're trying not to, make anyone not feel offended by anything. So I get it. I really do. But sometimes this is why y'all need people of color in your camps. This is why you need people of color in these rooms. This is why. This is why you need Black people in these rooms. This is why you need Asians in this room. This is why you need Middle Eastern people in this room, or Arab people. This is why you need Latinos in this room. This is why you need these people. Because if you had other people that are not white in these spaces, there would be no need for stupid mistakes like that. We would never have had a stupid mistake like that. Like, that is stupid. I'm like, wow, y'all really are. Even Simon was pretty much like, yeah, that was stupid. Like, he laughed about it because he knew that was absurd. Because literally his first season was Ninja Steel. The first season he ever worked on. It was Ninja Steel. So he worked with Zoe Robbins. So it's like, yo, like, y'all dead ass? I just thought that was one of the most funniest things. He also talked about the suits, and he was saying how the suits went through many drafts. And when they landed on the Cosmic Fury suits that we now know, they landed on those because they were easy to make toys out of. So that's why they landed on it, because originally they had other designs, but apparently those were too complicated. And they were just like, you know what? No, we want something very simple. So they dumbed them down even more. And, that was they landed on what we see, but those are supposed to be used for toys, but we have not gotten those toys, and we probably never will.
No, yeah, exactly. That's crazy. I wonder when they came to the realization that they weren't going to put out a toy line.
Probably very early. Well, not very early, but probably they had to figure that out, probably around the time of the filming of the show, at least, because not even that. Hell, I don't even know. That's a good question. I would love to find that out, honestly, because they really didn't know anything at that point. Because we literally just found out about the toys not too long ago. Probably within the last couple months, maybe, that they were like, okay, they're no longer producing Lightning Collection toys or Power Ranger toys in general. Like, that's it, for a while. So, it just, I don't know when they could have decided that, but that's crazy that they dumbed it all the way down like that. They should just went ahead and gave us whatever suits they were going to give us. Because no shade. As much as I love this show, and when I say, and we've all talked about it, off the air, but as much as we love Cosmic Fury, the one thing that really lowers the bar on this show is those damn suits. Those suits. And they're not ugly. They're just plain. They're just so plain. And it's just we want better. We wanted better. But, such is life, right? But yeah, he really did answer a lot of questions, and he spoke on a lot of things. He did also handle the the question about Zato being demoted. He handled that with such grace. And shouts out to Simon Bennett, because I'm a firm believer that there is nothing like actually hearing something come from someone's mouth instead of reading it on Twitter. You can form your own opinion. You can hear it differently. Like, you can read it differently, because obviously some people just they can't read well. They can't articulate things well when they read it. They can't comprehend it well when they read it. So it's so easy to twist things up. But it's nothing like hearing what someone is saying, because when you hear it come from their mouth, there is no way you can misconstrue it unless you're actively trying to. And he said exactly what was needed to be said. And, everything he said made perfect sense. So I implore everybody, go listen to that podcast. Go listen to that episode. It was phenomenal. Once again, shouts out to you guys. That was great. But one of the main reasons why I wanted to talk about this is because, so we are going to do a watch party. Everybody else, y'all, is everybody good? Hearts and minds clear?
Yeah.
I mean, as clear as I can get.
Wow. That sounds depressing.
Well, we already talked about this. You can't change people, but you can change how you view them.
This is very true.
And
words to live by. Once again, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for sticking with us. First of all, if you have not heard our previous episode, please go back and listen to that. That was one of our more passionate episodes, because we had some stuff we had to get off our chest. I was just about to curse.
As if you haven't been this whole episode.
Right?
I wasn't cussing that bad. Not this bad. Not as bad as the last one. Because
You
the last
said
one,
F you.
I mean,
and all that.
he deserved it. Like, fuck him. I don't give a shit. Fuck y'all right here.
Oh my god. Oh my
Shit. Fuck him. Shit. You know shit. But yeah, so shut up, nice. I can't stop laughing. But yes, so please go and listen to our previous episode. Please just go back and listen to all our episodes. Like, we don't care. Like, just go back and listen to all of them, because it's cool. And once again, you can find those episodes at linktr.ee/traveling the grid. All of our links are there, like I said. And once again, my name is Brandon.
My name is Lena.
And my name is Will.
And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.